part of a larger object. And the question is, well, what object and at what time was this? Perhaps there is an extraterrestrial connection. There is only one unexplained technology left on our countdown, and this one has truly stood the test of time. We've reached the end of our countdown of the top 10 unexplained technologies, and this last one is as extraordinary as it is massive. It's a towering monument of ancient Egypt, built thousands of years ago, that some believe was an energy generator. Number one on our list, the Great Pyramid Power Plant. Giza, Egypt. On the western bank of the Nile River stands the most extraordinary example of ancient engineering, the Great Pyramid. It towers above the landscape at roughly 450 feet tall and consists of over 2 million stone blocks.
The Great Pyramid of Giza is a marvel of architecture. Every block was 5 tons, and there's about 2 million of them to create a perfect pyramid shape that is one of the 7 ancient wonders of the world, the most ancient one of them all, and the only one standing.
Inside the Great Pyramid are a number of fascinating chambers and corridors, like the Grand Gallery, this towering stairway that goes up into the so-called King's Chamber.
Mainstream scholars theorize that the Great Pyramid was built as a tomb for the pharaoh Khufu, who reigned from 2589 to 2566 BC. But many experts claim this dating is based on highly questionable data and suggest the origins of the 3 pyramids at Giza are far more profound. Archaeologists and Egyptologists claim that they were tombs for the pharaohs, and yet no Egyptian pharaoh was ever found in a pyramid in Egypt. We have found the mummies of many Egyptian pharaohs, but they're found in vaults deep underground at the Valley of the Kings in Luxor, hundreds of miles away from the pyramids.
We taught in school that the Great Pyramid is a tomb, but if you look at the complexity of these buildings, the precision with which they were built, the features that you see on the inside, these various shafts and passageways, for me it looks like a machine.
The design of the tunnel system and chamber rooms within the Great Pyramid have convinced engineering expert Chris Dunn that the massive structure was actually an advanced technological device.
I propose that the Egyptians built the Great Pyramid to be a power plant. Pyramids were actually geomechanical devices. In other words, they were attached to the earth. They were tuned to vibrate with the frequencies of the earth, and they converted the energies of the earth into electromagnetic energy.
That energy was broadcast from the pyramid. It's picked up by the transmitters, which are the obelisks placed at key sites. They're able to be tuned to the specific frequencies coming from the pyramid. As far as ancient astronaut theorists are concerned, the mysteries of the Great Pyramid of Egypt require further study. And perhaps someday soon, advances in technology will shed new light on its true purpose. Archaeology is rooted in interpretation, just like the ancient astronaut theory. Something extraordinary happened right here in ancient Egypt, perhaps under the tutelage of extraterrestrials, teachers from another star system. Was the Great Pyramid of Egypt a massive power plant to be known, but one thing is clear. From fire that can burn underwater to a 40,000-year-old aluminum artifact and a biblical relic that could topple stone walls and feed the masses, the ancient past is filled with evidence that highly advanced civilizations were here on Earth. And perhaps once we solve the riddle of these unexplained technologies, we will finally pull out the secret of our extraterrestrial past. Government reports of extraterrestrial contact. A clandestine group tasked with silencing UFO witnesses and secret research programs to reverse engineer alien technology. For over a decade, Ancient Aliens has investigated covert groups, bases, and research sites that are connected to the extraterrestrial phenomenon. Now, we're taking a look back at 10 of the most incredible secret projects we've investigated. Projects that could provide evidence of government contact with extraterrestrials. As an ancient astronaut theorist, I think it's great that UFOs are becoming a regular subject of today's headlines. And what I find even more exciting is that for more than 80 years, witnesses have claimed that the government has top secret programs designed to study extraterrestrials and their technology. We'll start our countdown with a famous incident in New Mexico that the government still denies to this day. At number 10 on our list of the top 10 secret projects, the Roswell cover-up. Washington, D.C., April 2011. The FBI posts thousands of previously classified files to its new online vault. And one file in particular draws immediate attention from the media and independent researchers. The memo, dated March 22nd, 1950, is a briefing to FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover regarding informant information about 3 flying saucers that were recovered in New Mexico. Investigators immediately connect the memo to the infamous Roswell incident, a reported UFO crash that many people believe was covered up by the military in 1947.
Perhaps the most famous UFO incident of all time is Roswell. Now, this crash was brought to the attention of the Army Air Force Base at Roswell, and famously, the base actually put out a press release and said a flying disc has been recovered.
Just one day after this explosive headline, the military changed its story and claimed the recovered debris had an earthly origin.
The world was told, nope, just a weather balloon. And for more than 30 years, that's where it was left, until witnesses started to surface, saying, in fact, it was an extraterrestrial craft.
Is it possible that an alien craft really did crash near Roswell? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and suggest the cover-up was part of a secret government project. As evidence, they point to statements made 50 years after the event by retired United States Army Colonel Philip J. Corso in his book, The Day After Roswell.
Philip J. Corso made an incredible claim that he worked at the Foreign Technology Division within the Army Research and Development and had key access to ET technology from the Roswell crash.
According to Colonel Corso's account, military scientists were tasked with reverse engineering the debris collected at Roswell.
After the 1947 crash in Roswell, New Mexico, our technology took off just like a rocket. Silicon chips, laser technology, fiber optics. All of this stuff came after the Roswell crash.
Not only did Roswell spark public interest in UFOs, according to allegedly top-secret documents, it also inspired the creation of a classified organization that has a really cool name. Number 9 on our countdown, the Majestic 12. Burbank, California, December 1984. Movie producer and UFO researcher Jamie Shandera is anonymously sent a mysterious document. It is a top-secret memo, allegedly sent in 1952 from the CIA to President-elect Dwight Eisenhower. The document reveals the existence of a clandestine government think tank called the Majestic 12.
Majestic 12 is supposedly the government body that has responsibility for securing extraterrestrial technology, crash retrievals, and investigating UFOs. It comprises senior figures in scientific community, the military community, and within government, particularly intelligence.
No one anywhere outside of this group is to know anything about UFOs, crash retrievals, ETs, bodies, any of them.
According to the documents, President Harry S. Truman established MJ-12 in 1947, shortly after the infamous UFO crash in Roswell, New Mexico. The files also include detailed instructions explaining how to handle the debris from an extraterrestrial crash.
Documents talk about how debris from UFOs could be collected and sent to specific military facilities, and how alien bodies could be preserved. So the document essentially is a guideline to handle UFOs.
The most important document is a restricted Psalm 101 Majestic 12 Group Special Operations Manual. And when you go to page 10, there is an extraterrestrial technology classification table. This is solid confirmation that our government knew and was dealing with extraterrestrial entities and technology in the 40s.
Of all the top secret projects we've covered on ancient aliens, perhaps the most nefarious is a group of clandestine government agents who will do whatever it takes to keep extraterrestrial encounters quiet. At number 8 on our list, the Men in Black. Bridgeport, Connecticut, 1952. World War II Air Force veteran Albert Bender establishes one of America's first UFO organizations, the International Flying Saucer Bureau. The IFSB publishes a quarterly journal, Space Review, to share stories of UFO sightings with its 600 worldwide members. But just 1 year after launching, Bender claims he was visited by 3 strange men in black suits who threatened both his fledgling organization and his life.
Albert K. Bender coined the term Men in Black to describe the people who cautioned him not to talk about UFOs, not to talk about flying saucers, and above all, not to talk about extraterrestrials. The Men in Black are without doubt the most feared and sinister beings in ufology. The Men in Black go around threatening people who've seen UFOs, who've been abducted, even in some cases people who've found crop circles.
Encounters with the Men in Black have been reported for more than 7 decades. But just who or what are the Men in Black?
There's a lot of Men in Black stories that have occurred over the years. Enough to make you conclude that there is an agency involved, or agencies involved, over the years that from time to time have felt it was important to silence UFO witnesses.
Are the Men in Black a secret government agency that is tasked with both investigating and concealing an extraterrestrial presence on Earth? Based on Albert Bender's account of his experience with the Men in Black, some researchers believe these intimidating figures may even be alien entities themselves.
He said late one night when he was working in his attic room, these 3 shadowy, fedora-wearing figures literally materialized through the walls of the bedroom, and of course the 3 men were the Men in Black. He thought they were an extraterrestrial police force.
If the Men in Black are, in fact, of otherworldly origin, could it be that the government is working with extraterrestrials to keep their presence hidden from the public? Whatever the truth may be, many in the UFO community are convinced these shadowy figures continue to operate today.
UFO sightings haven't stopped, quite the opposite. So if UFO sightings are still going on, there's no reason to suppose that Men in Black aren't still going around speaking to witnesses, and if they're successful in their mission, we don't get to hear about them. It's quite possible that the Men in Black are still operating, still intimidating witnesses, and still being the gatekeepers of the UFOs.
For UFO researchers, one of the most intriguing secret projects that studies extraterrestrial activity is located in England. Its headquarters are rumored to be hidden within a series of underground rooms and tunnels down beneath a quaint country estate. At number 7 on our countdown of the top 10 secret projects, Rudloe Manor. England's southwest county of Wiltshire stands Rudloe Manor. On the surface, it appears to be nothing more than a charming English country house. But deep beneath the structure lie an astounding 2.2 million square feet of vast caverns divided into many smaller chambers. Rudloe Manor is an extremely mysterious place, but at the heart of it is a very hidden place, one that is so secret that very little is known today about what actually goes on there.
During World War II, the caverns and chambers beneath the estate were used by the British Royal Air Force as an underground aircraft factory. But while the underground complex once served as a clever way to hide military production from German bombers, today it is used to protect even more clandestine activities.
To this day, the underground facility carries out work which is highly classified, shrouded in secrecy, and people cannot get information about what the true mission is. It's absolutely off limits.
For years, it was home to a group called the Provost and Security Services. They're kind of like the James Bonds of the British Royal Air Force. They do espionage investigations, counterintelligence programs, things like that. One of the more thought-provoking aspects of Rudloe Manor is this claim that it's sort of the British equivalent of Area 51.
Rudloe Manor earned its reputation as the British Area 51 in 1955. After celebrating
military then decided to start investigating it at Rudloe Manor.
Now, for years, the Air Force and the Ministry of Defence denied that any UFO investigations were going on at Rudloe Manor. Then a document got released and it showed that actually, yes, UFO investigations had been done from Rudloe Manor. And of course, a lot of people say, oh, wait a minute, now we're getting interested. So all this, of course, just fuels the idea that maybe there is something to hide down there. And whatever's going on down there, it's big.
One of the most compelling stories we've investigated from ancient aliens features another top secret project in England. It involves the 30-year cover-up of what some are calling the greatest UFO photo of all time. At number 6, the Calvine cover-up. August 15th, 2022. Newsweek magazine publishes the provocative headline, Best UFO Picture Ever, the Calvine photo, found after 30 years missing. This photograph from the Calvine Hills in Scotland is crystal clear, it's in color, and it shows this just magical looking 100-foot long diamond-shaped craft that is clear as a bell.
Not only that, we also see a Harrier jet trailing the object. As soon as this photo was released to the public, people went crazy. It was a big deal.
According to the article, the photograph was taken 32 years earlier, in August 1990. It is one of 6 photographs allegedly taken by 2 hikers outside the small Scottish village of Calvine. The 2 hikers brought the photographs to Scotland's largest newspaper, the Daily Record, but then the photographs mysteriously disappeared.
They had 6 photographs, and they go to the local newspaper to have them published. And for reasons that are still not clear to this day, this Scotland newspaper, instead of immediately putting these 6 incredible photos on the front page, which is what I would have done as a reporter, somebody calls the Ministry of Defence in London, and they are ordered to send the photos and the negatives from the newspaper to somebody in the government.
Among the people who saw the 6 photographs was former Ministry of Defense UFO investigator Nick Pope, who was present for classified briefings regarding the images.
The photographs and the negatives went to JARI, which is Joint Air Reconnaissance and Intelligence Center. This is part of the intelligence community that specializes in imagery analysis. Their opinion was that this was not a fake. These were genuine pictures.
The photographs would remain hidden from public view for over 30 years, until one of the photos was shared with Newsweek for publication.
In 2022, a former Royal Air Force press officer named Craig Lindsay actually came forward and said that he had in his possession a copy of one of the Calvine UFO photos, and he decided he wanted to release it to the public. Craig Lindsay was the Royal Air Force press officer who interviewed the original hikers who took the photos.
While the photograph shared by Craig Lindsay caused a sensation, the 5 other Calvine photos have yet to be revealed. But why? Is it possible that the British government has a secret project to keep evidence of UFOs and extraterrestrials